all the Republican majority is trying to do here today is lawfare. You know better, and it is shameful.
Oh, I love being able to respond to the novice from New York.
Hey, Congressman Goldman, did you hear all that? Now go yourself. Representative Dan Goldman is probably one of the most despicable members of Congress, and boy, is that saying something. Boy, oh boy. But he's a freshman out of New York. He's a rich guy with the fortune of the Levi Strauss Company in his back pocket. He's in a safe district in New York, so he'll never lose re-election. And so he's the pit bull. He's the attack dog. He's the one that they send out because it doesn't hurt him politically. He can say the most outrageous, despicable things, and it doesn't matter. This used to be Adam Schiff's job because his district was like Burbank, Hollywood, Glendale, California, again, a safe district. But now he's trying to win statewide. And yes, even in California, you have to act a little less crazy to win statewide. So now it's Goldman's job. He goes out there, and he and Elise Stefanik, one of the shining lights for the Republicans in the House of Representatives, they sort of went at it here as Goldman was making outrageous, disgusting charge after outrageous, disgusting charge about Donald Trump, about the Stormy Daniels trial, about Michael Cohen, about Republicans in the House. And right when he was done, it was Elise Stefanik's turn on the committee. So watch what happened.
You know that coming down here, outside of that courtroom, while that witness is on the stand to try to impeach his credibility and his testimony, is jury tampering. You know it is unethical. You know that you are trying to discredit a current witness at a current trial who is testifying right now outside of that courtroom. You know better, and it is shameful. Mr. Trustee, you and I worked together at the Department of Justice. We had a number of interactions related to organized crime. I had no idea what your politics were. I imagine you had no idea what my politics were, because it doesn't matter. And it's very interesting to hear you now nitpick about the Speedy Trial Act and about what you claim to be unprecedented conduct in Mar-a-Lago. But I'm confident that you never came across anyone who refused a request to voluntarily return classified materials, who refused to comply with a subpoena for those classified materials, who was found to intentionally conceal and hide and obstruct justice by concealing those classified documents. You've never come across, that is unprecedented, I am certain, because that is a clear predicate for a search warrant. When someone obstructs justice, refuses to comply with the subpoena, and Mr. Issa can make up all of the facts that he wants about declaring it to be classified because he thought it or whatever it is, that will be decided in court. All of these cases will be decided in court by a jury based on the facts, evidence, and the law. And all the Republican majority is trying to do here today is lawfare, is interfere in ongoing criminal investigations that our system is perfectly well equipped to handle. And I yield back.
Yeah, he yields back. All right, so at the very beginning there, he was railing against Republicans who went up to Manhattan. You heard that, and saying that they were engaged in jury tampering. You know, Michael Cohen goes on TikTok every night, raises money by saying whatever the hell he wants. And of course, the jury can see all of that. But a sitting member of Congress say, you know, there's no law that's been broken here, that's jury tampering by delivering. By the way, how was his remarks just now not jury tampering? How is everything? And by the way, another thing, Representative Goldman actually has been coaching Michael Cohen, the witness for the prosecution. He's been working with him to coach him for his testimony, but that's not tampering with the trial in any way whatsoever. All right, so he rails into Republicans going up there. That's outrageous. That's disgusting. That's undermining the judicial system. That's jury tampering. You knew what you were doing. That's awful. Elise Stefanik's turn coming up next. Now watch what she had to say and watch how she meticulously devastates everything that Goldman, his party, and this kangaroo court is trying to do.
The gentleman yields back. I now recognize Ms. Stefanik for 5 minutes.
Oh, I love being able to respond to the novice from New York. First of all, thank you so much for stating the obvious that political lawfare is in fact election interference. That's what we're seeing with the sham Alvin Bragg trial. Thank you also to the novice freshman member for New York, highlighting that withholding military aid to an ally for a political purpose, just like Joe Biden is doing to Israel. Always grateful for you stepping in it. Mr. Costello, in your opening statement, you said that in the over 50 years serving as a lawyer, you, quote, have never seen the types of politically motivated cases that have been brought in this presidential election season. These political cases are being used as a weapon of war to damage, defeat, or impede political adversaries and their allies. Instead of political warfare, it is lawfare, a cancer upon our collective judicial system. I want to begin with Alvin Bragg's weaponized sham trial in New York. Isn't it true that in Alvin Bragg's campaign for Manhattan DA, Bragg specifically ran on going after President Donald Trump?
That is true.
Isn't it true that Bragg's predecessor, Cy Vance, declined to prosecute President Trump?
That is true.
And the FEC also did not prosecute President Trump.
That is true.
And the DOJ did not prosecute President Trump in this case.
The DOJ referring to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District?
Correct.
Absolutely true.
And one of the reasons the Southern District of New York turned down this case was because the supposed star witness, according to Alvin Bragg, Michael Cohen, was totally, quote, unworthy of belief. Isn't that true?
Without a doubt.
This is the same Michael Cohen who pled guilty to 7 counts in an indictment that had absolutely nothing to do with President Trump and actually predated the first time he met President Trump, correct?
Absolutely true.
And in fact, this is the same Michael Cohen who perjured himself to Congress. Isn't that true?
Yes.
In fact, when called as a witness in this sham trial, Cohen was asked directly if he was honest during his testimony to Congress. He said no, admitting perjury. But it's not just Bragg's case that is a total sham and illegal political lawfare going after Joe Biden's top political opponent, Donald Trump. This rot goes deep all the way up to the top in the Oval Office. Because when Congress referred this admission of Cohen's perjury to Joe Biden's DOJ, isn't it true that the DOJ has refused to prosecute?
That is true.
Isn't it correct that Michael Colangelo, who was the 3rd highest ranking official in Biden's DOJ, was transferred to Bragg's office to run this weaponized prosecution of President Trump? Isn't that true?
Not only true, but it's unheard of.
Unheard of. It's a disgrace. Do you agree that this weaponization of lawfare goes straight to the top with the purpose of helping Joe Biden's failing presidential campaign?
The circumstantial evidence definitely supports that.
And the unconstitutional gag order on President Trump from New York Judge Merchan is unprecedented lawfare.
As far as I know, absolutely.
And let's go to the daughter of the judge. Isn't it true that she is raising millions of dollars off of this sham case?
Well, I have to say I've read that in the media. I don't know it of my own knowledge.
It is true.
Thank you.
One additional question. I want to talk about the rigged and unprecedented jury selection process. Isn't it true that Bragg's team asked the jurors if they followed Trump on social media?
Yes.
And isn't it true that they did not ask any of the potential jurors if they followed Biden on social media?
Or Michael Cohen.
Or Michael
Yes.
Cohen.
Yeah.
And isn't it true that 87% of the jurors said they voted for Joe Biden?
That's true.
Is this unprecedented and lawfare jury shopping?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Political lawfare for the purpose of election interference to go after Donald Trump. Do you agree?
Totally.
This is one of the reasons that Trump's polls continue to skyrocket. And it's why President Trump will win in 2024 to end the illegal and warped weaponization of the justice system. Because if they can illegally go after Trump, they can go after anyone. I yield back.
I yield back. I yield back. I think what she meant to say is, hey, Congressman Goldman, did you hear all that? Now go yourself. I think that's what she meant to say by yield back. That was a master class. Every single Republican on Capitol Hill in the House or in the Senate should watch this. That's how you use your time effectively. Not all of this pontificating and speaking about this and that and the this and the, and oh, my good friend, the respectful and my dearest colleague over at the, no. You need to get information out there. Yeah. Isn't it true that this happened? Isn't it true that that happened? Isn't this true? Isn't that true? That's how you get testimony from somebody. That's how you get things in the record. That's how you make your point. That was freaking brilliant. You know, there's a lot of people on the so-called short list for running mate for Donald Trump right now. And yes, the Congresswoman from New York, Elise Stefanik, is on that list. There's a couple of other women that are on that list too, but I'm told that he is considering a woman specifically because he's doing poorly right now with suburban women, specifically white suburban women. She looks like a white suburban mom. She's not all va-va-voom with the hair and the makeup and the injected lips and looking like a Fox News pundit babe. She just looks like a mom. She also went to an Ivy League law school and she knows her and she does not hesitate to use her brilliance, to use her position, and to use her talents to go after the political enemies of President Trump, of the Republican Party, of the conservative movement, and of our nation. I mean, if we all have a vote in who Trump chooses, I got to tell you, she's starting to win me over right there. That was a great moment. It was incredible. And at the end, with the I yield my time, there's nothing more to say. She dropped the mic. Drop the mic.